Hello everybody, it's Christy. Well, I finished a journal and I thought I would share it with you. I had made this cover, it's been a few years ago, and I just never turned it into anything. And so I was going through my box of unfinished and neglected items, and I thought, I'll make a signature for this and actually turn it into a journal. So this was a piece of mixed media paper, and I used Yes paste, which I really, really love. It's really great for adhering things, especially like this wallpaper. This is some textured wallpaper that I had just bought on eBay. And I used the Yes paste and I glued the wallpaper to it and I let it dry. And then on the flip side, on the inside, I used this vintage ticking and glued that down and let it dry completely. And then I went back the next day and I machine stitched around with some pink thread, and I really love how that came out. And then I just never did anything with it, so it's been sitting. So I got out my Stamperia Grand Hotel paper, and I just love that vintagey color palette, and it's just got some really nice, some nice colors. And then on the front cover, I just have Sari Silk for the closure, and it wraps around, and I have 2 strands, and it wraps around and ties. The ends are just knotted, so I just knotted the ends, and then it's glued underneath this focal point, which is some cotton. And actually this is current. You can get it at Joann's. I first bought it a couple years ago, but I did check. I was at Joann's a few weeks ago with Irene, and I wanted to buy some more if they had it, because I've been using it a ton. And it's this fabric. So if you have a 50% off coupon or a 60% off one, it's $24 a yard. And so if it's regular priced and you can use a coupon, it's a good deal. I'm waiting for a 60% off coupon to come out so I would buy some more of it just to have in my stash. But I picked up another yard and a few inches. Irene and I bought what they had left on the bolt, which is just a couple yards and like 10 inches or something. So I think we each got like a yard and 5 inches or something like that. Oh my gosh, my husband is jingling with percussion, so you might hear him in a minute. Yeah, so anyway, it's great. So it tears super cool, and you can end up getting, let me grab, you can just tear it, and it tears really cool, and you just get these great jaggedy edges. And I use it as the base for like my snippets when I'm building a little snippet collage. It's really cool for that. And then I just like to tear it and, use it in tabs or just in little layering pieces, but it's just really, really great. And so I would recommend it. And like I said, if you get a coupon, it's a good buy. So you just have to go when it's not on sale and you have like a 50% or higher coupon. So go forth, find it. It's really cool. So I took a piece of vintage pink lace, and then I layered that cotton on top. And then I have this piece of vintage fabric that really matched well with the paper collection. And then I have this other piece of vintage trim, and then I stitched those together. And then I have these 3 super old buttons that were in my button container, and they're like so cool. And so I went ahead and I glued them down first lightly, and then I stitched them on, and then I glued everything down just because I wanted to make sure that they stayed. And I just really love how that looks. And then on the back side, I like to secure my sari on the back. And I took a piece of that torn fabric that I showed, and then I put this little burlap heart, and that comes from Hobby Lobby from the wedding section. But that's the back. But it's cool. I love this wallpaper. It's so cool. And if you want to paint it, you can ink it, you can stain it. It's really, really, really cool. Yeah, so very cool. So you open up the journal, and I've just got a piece of pattern paper. I didn't add any pockets. It was getting a little too bulky. And so I didn't want, I just wanted to have a nice, not to be overly full. And so I figured I'd fill up the page parts, and whoever gets this, if they want to, you know, you can add a pocket, you can adhere something to the inside, you can clip some things into the front cover as well. But yeah, so here's a piece of paper. Love this paper collection. It's just pretty. This is a little trifold. Absolutely love it. This little part here, you can have a little tuck spot, and then those close and that flap comes down, and that's also open as a tuck spot there. And this is coffee dyed paper. This is Edith Holden coloring book. And then this is the little pocket page that I learned to do from Amy at Crafty Cat. And it's 2 vintage book pages that are folded and nested in such a way that creates these 3 pockets. And if you leave the top open and only glue down the 3 sides, you have a 4th tuck spot. But when I glued it down, I had it upside down, and so I glued the wrong sides. So it ended up getting all glued down, which is fine. But I just don't have that extra pocket in the back. But this sentiment is from Red Lead Paperworks, and it is it's this one. These are the stamps I used from Red Lead Paperworks, and I used this one from Red Lead, and I used this one, and then I used these 2 cling mount stamps, which are really cool. And I'll put a link to Red Lead below. And so yeah, so that's from Red Lead. I just stamped it onto some book page. Now what I do is when I cut apart my pages, like if I have a vintage page and I'm trimming it up, you know, a lot of times you end up with these little pieces left, and these make really great little tags and places to stamp onto, because I love the color, because it's not white and it's not, you know, like vanilla color, but it's just old book page color, and I love that. So I've been using that a lot to stamp my little sentiments on. And then just collaged on little bits of fabric and book page and things like that. So the images I will link below to the 2 kits. I think I either used 2 or 3 kits from Ruby and Pearl XO on Etsy. And just backed this onto some pattern paper and stitched around. These tags are from the paper collection. And then this is another Ruby and Pearl XO image that I matted onto the pattern paper, and then another tab. And this little digital card is from Crafty Cat, and she had come out recently with some paper doll kits, and the first one that I bought has a sheet that has 4 of these little cards that she has created, like little collage cards. And so I just cut one of them out and backed it on some coffee dyed paper and stitched it, added a tag, and that's just a great place for journaling, and really like that. And then this is just a photo mat or a place that you could add, you know, journaling or whatever. No. Sorry, my big dog's in the trash. So anyway, but this is the pocket itself. And so you've got these, the book page nests together to create these pockets, and it's just so cool. And then I just layered on different pieces of, there's avocado dyed paper and a vintage book page and sheet music and stuff, and then some of my faux vintage tape. But I really like it. So like I said, if you end up leaving the back open like I did on my travel journal, you have a 4th space for a journaling card. But that's okay. So all of this stuff just tucks back inside. Like that. This piece of paper was not from the paper collection. So this paper, and there's one more, I used Sweet Paris, which is a Dove Craft paper from a long time ago. Cut it down to 8.5 by 11, ran it through my printer, and this is from Lorna at Tailor Made Journals. It's one of her grungy wallpapers. And then I have this just drawing paper with a little fabric tab. And this is just some avocado dyed paper that I folded to create these little tuck spots and glued it down and it becomes a pocket. And then there's a collage tag, and then this is another tag from the collection. I used my little Paper Studio punch to make these tags, and this one, and then this is a little stamp onto some vanilla cardstock. And that is from Tuesday Morning. I've had it for quite a while. It's one of those that I could never find, and I finally came across it. I've had it for a long time, but it's a great set. And then this little Peter Rabbit is just from Etsy, but it's a cute little set. So I love that. So I've got more tea-dyed paper, and here is the other paper. That's from the Sweet Paris collection. I printed another one of Lorna's wallpaper prints onto, added a little tab, and then just created a pocket, added a little collage, and that's another stamped sentiment from the Red Lead Paperworks, and then a little applique piece. Made a tag out of the pattern paper. This is another image from the Ruby and Pearl XO kit, and a tab, and then this is a Tim Holtz tag. Papers. This is a little clip I made, and it also can be a tuck spot. And these, Yvonne made this really cute flippy flap book, which I have made one. I need to cover it and actually finish it, but a part of it was this page has these really cool flap elements that you have a little tie closure. And I thought, oh my gosh, that'd be really cool in a journal. And so I did the same element, and I added this altered Target envelope that was from the Dollar Spot, and put some vintage book page, some tea-dyed paper. And I think I did a video on these a few months ago. And yeah, I love it. And I thought that just kind of looked cute tucked inside. And then these just close up and tie around. And it's just a fun little interactive element. I really like it. Thank you, Yvonne. And then I left the back, just glued it on two sides. And then I've got this piece of pattern paper that I folded and put a tab on so that it could be, you know, journaling. I could use it to put photos in. Really, whatever you wanted. And then this stamp is this one, and I think I bought this at Hobby Lobby. Love that. So we got coffee dyed paper. There's vintage book page. This is from a children's book. I had this altered flashcard, and I had turned it into a pocket, and I've had it in my little box of I have a box of tags that I've made, and so I thought, oh, I'll just add some tags to it, and put it on. I glued it down just onto the one side so it's open, and you could use it as a tuck spot. I bought one of my collage tags, and then another tag from the paper collection that I used the Hobby Lobby punch on. And then this is another image from Ruby and Pearl XO that I put down onto some pattern paper, added some tape, and did some stitching and glued it down, did some collaging with some vintage book page, and then it just flaps. And then more vintage book page, and then I've got another fabric snippet tab, coffee dyed paper, and then another one of those little pieces. Here's that Red Lead Paperworks stamp, and then there's some cheesecloth and some pattern paper, and then behind here I just have some coffee dyed paper and a tab, so it can be journaling, it could be place for memorabilia, whatever you want. Another pocket, a collage of different vintage fabrics and trims. This is a Red Lead Paperwork sentiment that I stamped onto some coffee dyed paper and then just glued it down. And then made a tag out of the paper collection, matted one of the Ruby and Pearl XO images onto some coffee dyed paper, stitched it down, added a Spellbinder tag and our tab. And this is one of my collage tags. The Spellbinder tabs I shared before, but they are, I have 3 tab sets. there's tab set 1 and tab set 2. And so I use the circle a ton. I also use just your standard looking tab. And then I use this one here a lot. So tab set 1, tab set 2. I don't know if you can find these anymore. They are from 2015. So maybe you can, maybe on eBay or something. And then I also have the Frayed Tabs, which are super cool. I was going to use these, but I ended up not. But these are really cool too. But I definitely recommend those. Lorna's Grungy Wallpapers, piece of tea dye paper with another fabric snippet. And then these I made from, I didn't watch a video. I was looking through my Somerset Studio. I cannot remember the name of that to save my life. I was looking through my Somerset Studio magazine just for some ideas and inspiration a while back. And someone did these really cool little notepads. And I thought it would be fun just to put one in the journal, just kind of as a place card holder. You don't have to keep it in. You could take it out. But, you know, you could make notes on it on the front and back. And then you could just, you know, use it as a place card holder. This is just a piece of mixed media paper, and it's a piece of pattern paper, and I collaged onto the top. And then this is a Tim Holtz doily die, the edge die. Love it. Super easy to make. Inked the edges lightly, and it's just cute. So it's just a fun little, you know, little place card holder. So you can leave it in, take it out. But I thought it was kind of fun. And then this is a nested pocket, and the dies I used for this are here. It's there are these dies. I don't know if you can find them anymore. I bought them a long time ago. But Crealis, I don't know, but they're from Netherlands. But you get like the pocket die, and then you have this nested piece that for layering, which I thought that was really cool. So I cut 3 of them out. I only this bottom one, I completely folded all 3 tabs. And then these 2, I just folded in the sides. And then I nested them together and glued it down, nested them. And then I just made some tags to go inside. So this is just one of my collage tags. I used that postage cancellation stamps from Red Lead Paperworks. And then this is from the kit, from the paper collection, and then a piece of pattern paper that I just made into a tag using the Hobby Lobby tag punch. I did die cut out a piece of pattern paper to mat on the front here and added a couple vintage trims, and then this piece of burlap. I stamped that butterfly from Red Lead Paperworks and then stitched it all together and glued it down. So I thought that was really cute. And then I just did a collage tag, and it's one of the Ruby Pearl XO images. This piece of patterned collage paper was from one of her kits as well, and I just backed it onto this alteration tag and put the image down. I put some of my tape down and then added a tab. This Gorgeous is from Joann's, and these 3 sets, I don't know if I used the Happy. I might not have used the Happy, but I do know that I used Beautiful and Gorgeous, and those came in a set from Joann's, and I think it was like $3.99, and you got both of them, and they were like 40% off, but I thought they were cute. So I just stamped that and matted it onto some pattern paper and then created that tag. And then in the back here, I just used one of the Tim Holtz number 8 tags. Put a piece of pattern paper down. I stamped it. This stamp is a memory box stamp. I've had it for a while, and it came from a scrapbooking store in Portland that is no longer in business. So, but yeah, I love that. And on the end, it has a little butterfly stamp, but it's really cute, but very cute. And added another one of the Spellbinder dies, tabs to that. And I used my Heidi Swap stapler a ton because my Tim Holtz one is missing. I don't know what I did with it. So And then I just French script the back using this Hero Arts stamp that I have had probably for 10 years. I love it. It's called French Writing. Is it? Yeah, Old French Writing. And it's just a great stamp. So I don't know if you can find it, but it's great. But any, you know, background stamp will work. Yeah, inked the edges. So that's that tag. And then I'll put those back later. And then some more of that Edith Holden coloring book. And then tea-dyed paper. And then I just altered a glassine bag. And it's just these little glassine bags. And I used that script stamp and collaged on some little bits. And then I stamped that beautiful onto some of the pattern paper and glued it behind the photo, stitched it down, and then made a stamped Count the Happies on this little shipping tag. Goes in there. And this is just one of the images from the collection, from the Ruby and Pearl collection that I used. And then one of my collage tags. So yeah, this was a fun little journal to make. I had fun. And then that's that. And then it just closes up and ties. So that is that. And I will have this for sale. I'm not sure when, but by the time this gets up, I'll link my Etsy, and then it'll be available. If it's there, it's available. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and may you be happy and healthy in whatever you're doing. So take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.